My God. What have I done like this? Osaloboa, pressure tiwa.
Guys, we finally got a country in this world that are actually looking to protect men from losing half their assets and belonging when their wives decide to file for divorce from them. And we all know how that no-fault divorce law has simply destroyed families in the Western world. It looks like Kenya has taken the correct steps to amend and abolish this law because that's what they did. Let's get into it.
Kenya has abolished 50% divorce settlements for women, and here is why. First of all, the idea of splitting a man's matrimonial property with a woman has been proven to be problematic, specifically in the Western countries where divorce is incentivized. Meanwhile, it's becoming popular in certain liberal African countries. A woman marries a man for a couple of years and make a few babies with him, and the next thing you know is she's filing for a divorce. And she's doing this seeking 50% of the man's wealth. And so a 5-man Supreme Court judges in Kenya considered all that's involved in these situations and voted unanimously in favor of amending that law, which President Ruto has signed into law since last year. The new law provides settlement for the lady based on either the financial contribution she's put into their marriage or a certain percentage is allocated to her based on their number of kids, their ages, and also because she provided a conducive home for the husband to live and thrive. I love women, don't get me wrong, and I will never wish bad for them. But the rate of divorce and the reasons behind why the women are quick to file for divorce are getting absurd, ladies and gentlemen. It's clear that in many cases the women wouldn't have married the guy if not for the man's money. But we cannot reward that with half of the man's hard-earned wealth when the lady decides to walk away. And in line with that, I think what the Nigerian novelist wrote is totally true. Eneke the bird says that since men have learned to shoot without missing, he has learned to fly without perching. End of quote. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for every man to be aware of the times and the trends. Don't be charmed by beauty, for it won't last. Find a woman who isn't carried away by money and easily manipulated by the trends of friends.
Shout out to the Supreme Court in Kenya. And from the pictures of it, I think I saw 2 women on that Supreme Court. So I'm glad to see that even those women understood the issue that they saw before them, where a lot of cases these women was marrying these men, having kids right away, back to back, and come 3 to 4 years, they're looking to divorce these men only to take half of everything that man has worked for all his life.
Hey, I know they've been saying marriage is a scam, but I didn't know it was like this legit.
It's bad.
Nilikuwa nadhani tu ni kama venye wasema, oh, men are trash, women are evil, marriage is a scam. But clearly, if these statistics are right, marriage is not conducive right here in the 254. Did you know, earlier on this week, a statistic emerged stating that over the past 2 years in Kenya, yani from 2020 to 2022, there have been 10,000 divorces. 10,000 divorces. Do you know 10,000? That's 20,000 people. Unajua umejaza Kasarani.
What if divorce?
I do that all the time.
Do you know, out of 10 people who are in a marriage setup, 9.9 want out.
For real?
Yes, but now 5 might not because of different reasons. There are those who get married because of financial aspect, security. There are those who get married out of peer pressure.
Yeah.
There are those who get married because mtoto ametokelezea. There are those who get married because of church. Oh, kanisa wametuona na wewe, sasa lazima tu tuoane.
Unajua
ndoa nini. So there's those, and then there are those who get married because of parents. Parents like, listen, you have to marry now because this is what I want. Very few people marry because of love. Very few.
I'm just here wondering, wherever you are this morning as you hear this statistic, and we see, by the way, it seems some type of way. Actually, let me put it exactly. Remember the Ruga concert where they said it was 10,000 people?
Yes.
Now double that. Because 10,000 marriages is 2 people in a marriage. So we're talking about 20,000 individuals who said, you know what?
Really?
Hatuwezi fanya isa mo. Wherever you are this morning, do you believe in marriage?
This court seeks to prosecute the heart of all this, more so in light of the data that shows that divorce applications are rising. Let's sample some of this data. The number of applications for divorce made in the last financial year stood at 5,604. The breakdown is 3,784 cases filed in various magistrate courts in the country and 1,820 in the Kadhi's courts. This total is 870 more applications than the 4,734 people who decided to formally end their unions in 2020-2021. Now, 3,082 applied in magistrate courts and 1,652 in Kadhi's courts. This is data from the State of Judiciary annual reports for the 2 financial years. While this may look like just numbers we are comparing, it means that in the 2 years, more than 10,000 couples decided to call it quits officially in, again, 2 years. Why, you may ask? Well, Your Honor, the reasons are varied, but let's look at what the law considers grounds for divorce.
In Kenya, there's nothing like a 50-50 after divorce, and both parents are required by law to contribute financially to the child's well-being. Endelea kwa housewife. Continue being a housewife. Continue being, Miss Wife material, being a housewife, staying in the house with no money of your own. When the dust falls, you'll have nothing. You will have nothing. You can totally find the balance between being a career woman, being a mom, and a wife.
Here's the question of the day. Why do you think divorce cases in Kenya are on the rise? Why do you think divorce cases in Kenya are on the rise? That is the question of the day. Remember, you can talk to us on our SMS platform, which is 22422. That is 22422. Why do you think divorce cases in Kenya are on the rise? SMS 22422. And then also use the hashtag Daybreak. Talking about divorce, I don't know if you have it, but if you do, we'll throw it up. It was an increase in divorce. According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics from, I think, 2013, yes, to 2022, there have been 661,668 divorce cases in total. They've been increasing from, in fact, the rise started around COVID. Before that, it was about 1,000. COVID years ikapanda. Last year, there were about 5,400 and something. They say that social media na hii kitu is one of the major breaking points of the relationships, because alafu siku hizi pia watu wana spyware wana seti ka private eye akuja cheki machuo mzako, and then of course Judy Thongori, who is a lawyer who was quoted, also talked about emotional abuse, the sad case of domestic abuse as well, and not forgetting money, pesa, money. Shatter. Yes. That statistic shows that the spike actually started in 2020, which was a COVID year. Do you think that COVID period had anything to do with the fact that divorce cases will rise, and why?
First of all, tuanze na hiyo story ya hiyo 6.
I'm gonna stop the video right there because there's obviously a language barrier, but definitely a shout out to Kenya for making a way for men's lives over there to be a little bit more peaceful. This is an issue that need to be amended and abolished here in the States for men. This is what men need to be calling their senators asking for. Amend and abolish no-fault divorces. I see a lot of guys rallying towards presidents to be in office, but what are we asking for with our vote? This is one of the things we should be asking presidential candidates for. But that's all I got in this video. You guys drop a comment down below and let me know what you think about this law. Do you think this is something that men can get done in the US and in the West? Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.